The TV news departments are centered around an assignment desk. The assignment editor is someone who tries to have reporters and photographers at the right place at the right time. By 10 o'clock in the morning, as many as 12 camera crews are on the street. They're in radio contact with the assignment desk and can be dispatched anywhere they're needed.
The mobilization of the crew needed to handle a possible disaster is set up. KG 5500 is in the area of turbulence. It reports high winds and requests that another unit be immediately sent to the airport and prepare to fly as soon as conditions permit. He also requests that the sliding top station wagon that is radio equipped be assigned to the news department and placed on immediate standby in case of possible sound interviews with victims.
One of those who is out of breath now after running out onto the mall rescuing those who have been shot is Brian Ellison of Austin, who has been in Vietnam, has been back for 2 years. Brian, how many have you gone out to rescue?
Today, 2.
What did you have to do?
Run hard and keep low.
I'm standing in the shelter of the U.S. Weather Bureau station at the Victoria County Airport in Victoria. This is Hurricane Carla in all its strength after several days of waiting in the Gulf of Mexico. Late today, it moved inland some 35 miles southeast of here, and now in Victoria, we're feeling the full force of Hurricane Carla, said to be one of the worst ever to strike the Texas Gulf Coast.
His name is Phil Archer. He's the overnight man for Big 2 News, on the streets all night long. Archer is a rolling communication center. He has a number of different radio systems, both monitors and transmitters, even has a telephone.
This is a news film camera called the CP16. It's the finest news film camera available today. It weighs about 18 pounds and records sound and picture at the same time. It can be carried anywhere. But after the film has been shot, it has to be unloaded from the camera's magazine. Then the film has to be carried back to the station for developing in the film lab.
Right in here is the film processing room where all of the film is processed, and I guess that adds. The portly gentleman you see right there is Gordon Wilkerson, head of our film department, and that's his chief assistant, Leroy Houston. This is one of 2 processing machines we have here that develop each day thousands of feet of film, not only for KTBC, but for the University of Texas, the Austin Public Schools, and other school systems throughout Central Texas. So effective is this machine that our news department can shoot film at 6 o'clock. By 6:30, we can have it processed and on the air.
Color film of a fast-breaking news story can make it from camera to air in less than an hour on Channel 2 because the KPRC Film Lab is an around-the-clock service. More than one doubtful film story has made the air because the lab technicians knew just what to do to make the film come out right. But the lab crew prides itself on careful attention to detail.
The lab operators load the film into another magazine and put it on the processor. It runs through the chemicals automatically, and when it comes out at the other end, it's ready to be projected. Processing can take an hour or more, and afterward the film still has to be edited. The editor might look at the film on a projector, or he might use a table viewer. In most cases, he'll have a script to go by so he can arrange the scenes to correspond with the script to be read on the air.
Film cameras were the thing in years past, but film pictures were not the best quality, and processing film took too long, nearly half an hour in some cases. So Big 2 News has gone entirely to all electronic cameras. You see their pictures instantly. They can be fed back to the studio live or recorded on portable tape recorders carried by the cameraman.
The Big 2 Instant News Camera is an Ikegami HL33. Other major stations around the country are also using the Ikegami. Electronically, it's similar to the cameras used in television studios, but it's even smaller and lighter than that CP16 film camera we looked at earlier.
Since we cover anything with ENG, our editing room and the newsroom had to be as flexible as possible. We used the Datatron editor with time code and Sony 2850 U-matic cassette machines. There's a third 2850 in the center for time-coding tapes brought to the newsroom and for recording microwave feeds, as well as material from virtually any source in the building. We also use the third machine to play stories directly on the air through the time-based corrector and master control.
Videotape Central is located adjacent to the film projection room. The area houses 8 videotape recorders of 3 different types. The machines are used to record and play back news stories as well as commercials. There is an arrangement of sliding panels around the 6 larger machines, which allows people operating the recorders to work in pockets of isolation, thus reducing the overall noise level in the area. The pictures from Videotape Central, film production, and all other sources are fed to television master control.
This man right here is the video engineer. He shades the picture for contrast and brightness just as you do on your set at home. The man next to him is the director. He calls the shots. On his headset there, he directs the members of the floor crew, and by the series of remote control buttons in front of him, he punches up on the air the picture that he wants, be it videotape, or film, or network, or live cameras, or slides. The man next to him is the audio engineer who rides herd on the sound that ends up on the speaker of your television set. Through the glass windows in there is a projectionist. He threads up the film on 2 projection machines.
It's loaded on a projector.
Hello, John. News film is ready.
At a signal from the director, the film is rolled, and the audience sees it at home.
Delegate camera 4 to B, chroma key, please.
John Burkhart has in front of him 20 television screens. Using the panel, he and the producer of the newscast, Larry Weidman, can choose which picture goes on the air.
Stand by. Come to George.
Out in the studio, George Caldwell and Cindy Martin are in touch with the control room through special earphones.
Hello, George, Cindy. Page 3 is probably not going to be ready. We'll go
Before this half hour is over, as many as 75 people will have taken part in the production here at Channel 2. And more than 300,000 people will have watched. That's a lot of folks, and we think that's a pretty heavy responsibility on our shoulders. That's why we thought you'd be interested in seeing just how we put it all together here at Big 2 News. I'm Ron Stone.